Right now, somewhere in the world, a 19-year-old with no college degree is making more money than a doctor. Not from luck, not from crypto, not from some secret app. From a skill they learned on YouTube, for free, in about 6 months. And here's the part that should bother you. The information they used to learn that skill is the exact same information available to you, right now, on the device you're using to watch this. So why isn't everyone doing it? Because most people are chasing the wrong thing entirely. They think earning more money online is about finding some hidden opportunity. A secret platform, a trick nobody else knows. But that's not how it works. It never was. Let's talk about what actually pays in 2026, why it pays. And more importantly, why most people never get there even when the path is sitting right in front of them. The problem with how we think about online money. Here's the common mistake. When people think about making money online, their brain immediately jumps to 2 categories. Either it's a scam, something too good to be true, or it's something only tech people can do. Neither of those beliefs is true, but both of them are incredibly convenient. Because if making money online is either fake or impossible for you, then you don't have to try. You don't have to risk failing. You don't have to sit with the discomfort of being a beginner again. This is a psychological pattern called self-protective reasoning. Your brain would rather protect your ego than expand your income. It feels safer to say that's not for me than to say I don't know how to do that yet, but I could learn. And this single sentence, yet but I could learn, is the difference between people who are earning 6 figures from a laptop and people who are still scrolling job boards feeling stuck. So before we even talk about which skills pay, we have to deal with this mental block. Because you could hand someone the exact roadmap to a $30,000 a year skill, and if they believe deep down that this kind of thing isn't for people like them, they will find a way to sabotage it. They'll quit after 2 weeks. They'll say it's too competitive. They'll blame the algorithm. Money follows belief before it follows strategy. Keep that in mind, because we're going to come back to it. Why some skills pay and others don't. Let's clear up something confusing. A lot of people ask, what's the best skill to learn to make money online? As if skills have some fixed dollar value attached to them. They don't. A skill only pays when 3 things overlap. First, someone else has a problem. Second, that problem is expensive or painful enough that they'd rather pay you than deal with it themselves. Third, you can solve it faster or better than they can. Think about it like this. Imagine 2 people. One learns to make really beautiful hand-drawn birthday cards. The other learns to write short video scripts that get businesses more customers. Both are skills. Both take creativity. But one of them solves a problem that costs a business real money if left unsolved, lost customers, lost sales, lost visibility. The other is a lovely hobby that most people aren't desperate to pay for. This is the part school never teaches us. We're taught that if you're good at something, money will follow. But money doesn't follow talent. Money follows unsolved, expensive problems. That's it. That's the whole game. So when we talk about the best online skills that pay in 2026, we're really talking about which problems are currently the most expensive and painful for businesses and individuals to solve on their own. The skills that actually pay right now. Let's break these down simply. No jargon, just plain logic. Number 1, AI-powered content creation. Every business on earth right now has the same headache. They know they need content, videos, posts, ads, but creating it consistently is expensive and slow. The people who've learned to combine AI tools with actual storytelling and editing skill are solving that headache directly. Not people who just type a prompt and post the raw result, but people who understand pacing, hook writing, and visual storytelling, and use AI to speed up their process. That combination, human judgment plus AI speed, is worth a lot of money because it solves an expensive problem fast. Number 2, copywriting and persuasive writing. This one never goes out of style, and here's why. Every single business, no matter what they sell, needs words that make people want to buy. A landing page, an email, an ad script. If those words are weak, the business loses money every single day. If those words are strong, the business makes money every single day. That repeating compounding value is exactly why copywriters get paid well. You're not just writing sentences, you're installing a small money-making machine into someone's business. Number 3, technical skills like web development and automation. Businesses in 2026 are drowning in manual repetitive tasks. Someone who can build simple automations, connect tools together, or build a basic website is essentially selling time back to business owners. And time, especially a business owner's time, is one of the most expensive things in the world. Number 4. Video editing. Attention has become the most valuable currency on the planet. Every brand, creator, and small business wants to capture attention through short video. Most of them cannot edit well themselves. So editors who understand pacing, retention, and simple psychological hooks are essentially attention engineers. And attention, when captured correctly, converts directly into sales. Notice the pattern in all 4 of these. None of them are exotic. None of them require a rare talent you're born with. They are learnable, practical skills that solve visible, expensive problems. The deeper insight nobody talks about. Here's where it gets interesting, and this is the part most videos about online skills completely skip. The skill itself is never actually the thing that makes you money. It's your relationship with discomfort that makes you money. Let that sink in for a second. Every single one of those skills we just talked about, content creation, copywriting, automation, video editing, has thousands of free tutorials online. The information is not scarce. It never was. If information alone made people rich, everyone with internet access would already be wealthy. What's actually scarce is people willing to sit through the awkward, unqualified, embarrassing beginner phase long enough to become good. Think about the last time you tried learning something new. Maybe a language, an instrument, a sport. Remember that specific point where you weren't good yet, but you also weren't a total beginner anymore. That middle zone feels terrible. Your brain compares your current skill level to people who've been doing it for years, and it whispers, "You're not good enough. This isn't working. Maybe you're just not cut out for this." This is called the competence gap, and it's the exact spot where almost everyone quits. Here's the twist, though. The competence gap isn't a sign that you're failing. It's a sign that you're actually learning. If it didn't feel uncomfortable, it would mean you weren't stretching at all. The people making real money from online skills in 2026 aren't smarter than everyone else scrolling social media, wondering how to get started. They just tolerated that uncomfortable middle zone for longer. That's genuinely the entire secret. Not motivation, not talent, tolerance for discomfort. Why most people never get there. Now here's the psychology piece that ties this whole thing together. Our brains are wired for short-term certainty, not long-term payoff. This made total sense thousands of years ago when uncertainty could mean literal danger. But in today's world, that same wiring makes us chase instant results and abandon anything that doesn't show immediate payoff. So when someone starts learning video editing or copywriting, and after 2 weeks they haven't landed a client, their brain treats that like a threat. It says, "This isn't working, protect yourself, quit now." Not because it's actually true, but because uncertainty feels unsafe. This is why so many people bounce between 5 different online skills every few months. It's not because those skills don't pay. It's because they never gave any single one long enough to reach the point where effort finally turns into income. They kept restarting the uncomfortable beginner phase instead of pushing through it once. Imagine someone digging for water. They dig 10 feet in one spot, don't hit water yet, so they walk somewhere else and start a brand new hole. Then they do that again and again. Eventually, they've dug 50 shallow holes and found nothing, when if they had kept digging in one place, they likely would have hit water at 15 feet. That's exactly what happens with online skills. The depth is where the value is. The shallow holes are where most people give up. What this actually means for you. So what do you actually do with all of this? First, pick one skill from that list. Not because it's trendy, but because it solves a real problem you can clearly picture. Ask yourself, who would pay for this and why would it matter to them? Second, give yourself a real runway. Not 2 weeks, not a month. 3 to 6 months of consistent, unglamorous practice, where you'll feel behind, unqualified, and unsure constantly. That feeling isn't a red flag. It's just what learning feels like from the inside. Third, remember that your first paying client or gig is never about being the best in the world. It's about being slightly more useful than someone trying to solve that problem completely on their own. That bar is much lower than your inner critic wants you to believe. And finally, track tiny progress, not massive results. Did you finish one project today? Did you understand one concept a little better than yesterday? That's the real signal that you're moving forward, even when your bank account doesn't reflect it yet. The real lesson. Here's the truth underneath everything we just talked about. The best online skill that pays in 2026 isn't some secret tool or trending platform. It's the skill of staying consistent inside discomfort long enough for competence to quietly build in the background, until one day, it shows up as income. Money doesn't reward the people who know the most. It rewards the people who stuck around long enough to become useful. So the real question isn't which skill should you learn. It's whether you're willing to feel like a beginner for a few uncomfortable months in exchange for a version of your life where you're no longer trading hours for survival, but building something that pays you because you solved a real problem for someone else. That decision, right there, quietly made or quietly avoided, is what actually separates people who talk about making money online from people who eventually do.